Welcome to my world. Come on in and make yourselves at home. Welcome to my life. I know everything's gonna be all right. Welcome to my world. Oh, won't you come on in? Welcome to my life. It's known as the Tiger's Den. Greetings to all of my subscribers. I want to thank you for being with me for as long as you have, and the new subscribers that's coming on in. We want to say greetings and thank you for your time. This is from Toothless and the moderators. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. Justice for CJ, a son, brother, father, uncle. Up drove the hearse Cadillac. A crowd of people gathered around, all dressed in black. And as they removed his body from the car, such pain she never knew had filled her heart. It happened on an early Saturday morning when the noise from the phone really disturbed her. She wasn't too sure at first just what the caller meant when they informed her that there had been an incident. Why, oh why, the sound of a mother's cry as she gathered herself and wiped the tears from her eyes. Somebody asked, who was the next of kin. But oh Lord, it was the beginning of her end. March 17th, 2018. CJ will forever be 22 years young. Justice for CJ. In a mother's love, you will find everything's all right. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. You are free to dream because she sees what you can be. Did you know that mental health is a family affair? It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, one child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn, and another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mama loves the both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood thicker than the mud. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave because your heart is there. But you can't stay because you've been somewhere else. You can't cry because you look broke down, but you're crying anyway because you're all broke down. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, it's a family affair. Hey. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter Remind us who we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place that you've been dreaming of takes you to a lonely place, find yourself in love. Greetings and welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. Tonight, everybody, I'm going to leave my camera off. I am extremely sleepy, to tell the truth. I almost decided not to go on, but I thought that wouldn't be fair to those of you who come to see me every week. And so I don't really have a topic. I've been reading and looking at a lot of things that's been really disheartening. And, I just don't even know which way to go with what's going on in the world today. I saw a story that actually broke my heart. And it happened, I believe it was in Ireland. Astatar, correct me if I'm wrong. But it was a group of young girls, and they had completed competition, and their team had won. And the only Asiatic little girl that was there, she was so excited and had such a big, beautiful smile on her face. And the lady came and was giving out the medals, and it was the kind of medals that they put, excuse me, around the neck. And she went to about 3 girls before her, and she skipped over her, went to the girl next to her, went down the line, left to go get some more medals, and then she went back and put medals on girls that didn't even suit up to perform. So we didn't get to see the performance. We just saw the victory. There were adults there taking pictures, like reporters maybe. That's what they looked like. They didn't look like family members. There were other coaches. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you. It was, and that was for a Catchy. I have my phone turned off so that I can't hear the texts and the calls that I get, and I can just look at it. So I saw it pop up, and I'm going to acknowledge you in a minute. But if y'all would have seen the look on that baby's face when this lady went through a whole line and handed out those medals and did not give this young lady a medal. And they looked like they were about 11 or 12. Can you imagine Can you imagine what that must feel like? Hey, let's celebrate. Lazy got 12 months. Celebration time. Come on. Let's celebrate. Thank you. Celebration time. Come on. We're going to have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. All right. Let's celebrate. Actually, today is my niece's birthday. And she's working way out somewhere in the oil fields. But happy birthday to you, Jazzy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's your day, go turn it up. It's your day, go turn it up. It's your day, go turn it up. It's your day, your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss J. Okay, I want to just say I did my little song to welcome everybody into my world and my life. And I want to say greetings, so Alicia. Greetings, Lara. Greetings, Cache. Greetings, Asatar. Greetings. I'm coming down, y'all. I don't have that many, so I'm just coming down. Greetings, Kelly G. Greetings, Lazy Bone. Greetings, Donkey Green. Greetings, Iceberg Thoughts. Greetings to everybody. Congratulations. So, Alicia, 9 months. Congratulations. Yay. Greetings, I'm just being me. Greetings to everyone that's in the bushes, that's in the sky, that's in the clouds, that's in the trees, on the beach, on the cruise, wherever you may be. Greetings. And I really appreciate you guys for coming on in. I really appreciate that. I almost really, literally did not want to come on. I've been working on some papers for the last 3 days, and I had a deadline this evening, and it was right at the last moment. And I was helping my little cousin, and I told him, I think I'm just going to lay down. And he said, not Toothless Tiger. It's some people going to miss you. I said, oh, you think so? I said, yeah, my people going to miss me, so I might need to come on and say something. So I didn't really have anything really prepared because I've been so brokenhearted by looking at that young lady. And I would suggest that you guys just Google the little gymnast who didn't get her medal. And it is about a 4-minute video, but it is so heartbreaking. You know, and I would couple it with the things that's been going on lately that I've been covering and different things that's going on in the world. And then I ran across an article here in Dallas about Section 8. I don't know if anybody is aware of what's happening with Section 8, but they're trying to get rid of Section 8. And it's affecting the elderly a lot. You know, when we think public housing, we really think, you know, mainly of a single parent with children, and children do need a place to stay. Kelly said, oh yeah, that was sad. Simone Biles said she called her. Yeah, that was beautiful. I saw her on IG. And, you know, she said that there is no room for racism in gymnastics, and I'm much of the opinion there's no room for racism anywhere. And unfortunately, we still are dealing with the little nuances of the past that we really can't talk about because a lot of people are not interested in it. But we're all affected by it daily in our public jobs. We just go there to do our job and we give them the best that we have. And some of us are very good at what we do. And you can find a person just don't like the way you enter a room. It doesn't have to be anything in particular for someone to choose you to target, but to see what's happening to our children. Our teachers are getting attacked more in schools. Um, to see our elderly getting actually put out of their homes because they're trying to end a lot of government programs. My sister was sharing with me that there is a bill on the floor. They want to rid themselves of all human aid, with the exception of Social Security, and she couldn't remember the other, and I have not investigated that, so I won't speak on that too much, but my sister's pretty accurate. It's my oldest sister. And, she's the person that taught me how to stand my ground and stand on my square, no matter where I am. She taught me the rules of engagement. And one thing my daddy always taught us is if you don't know the rules of engagement, then you really can't engage. And one of the reasons that we are in such dire straits is because we don't want to learn the rules of engagement. It is not hard. And if you're one of those people who just can't stomach reading, they actually have today audiobooks. And you don't have to read. You can download them just like you do a song or like you look at a video. They even have a lot of good books on YouTube, believe it or not. Somebody is reading them. So it's, more than one way to skin a cat. And when you think about, we say the children are our future and what we want for the children and what we hope they grow to be, how do they have a chance when you're in a competition, a healthy competition, and your team wins and everybody get acknowledged in front of the world but you? I can't even imagine that feeling as an adult. And I've gone through some painful things as a child and an adult. But I can't even imagine that feeling. To be in a stadium full of people, everybody cheering for you and your team. Because she definitely was a part of the winning team. And from the way she was dressed, she was actually active on the floor. And she's the only kid. And when that lady went and got the other medals and came back and put a medal around every girl's neck on that floor but that young lady, she actually turned away with one medal in her hand. So she had it to put on her neck. She literally chose not to. Asatar said, yes, I'm about 5 minutes behind the live. My bad. Yeah, we understand, Ass. It's okay. Ashley, I don't even want to see the color green for a good 3 months. And why do you feel that way, Asatar? Ash said, I'm so upset about the girl bit getting a medal. I don't want to think about nothing Irish. Oh, that's right. That's what you said. He said you didn't want no green beer. He said he don't want nothing green. He's not going to even celebrate St. Patty's Day. Yeah, that was just really kind of it's really disheartening, to say the least. I don't want to think about nothing Irish while we're at it. Ever St. Patrick's Day. My, Asatar. Whew. Man, don't piss him off. I said at Kelly G, it's beyond sad. That, you know what, got me visibly upset. Had me fed up for a good hour, shaking my head. So Alicia said the word that they always use, if you want to hide something, put it in a book. And that's so very true and unfortunate, especially when there was a time when we were not allowed to read. And you know, there is this saying, and I may get it wrong, but I'm going to try to get it right. And there's a saying said, you know, a man who knows and don't use his knowledge is no better than the man that doesn't know and desire the knowledge. Both are not operating in the best them that they can be. And I think a lot of people misunderstand why I'm here on YouTube. I'm really here for me. That's why I came. I do a lot of advocating for people. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of writing. And contrary to anyone's belief, I get a lot of positive results. And it makes me happy. Money doesn't move me. Although, as I've told y'all many a times, certainly I want to get my check on the 21st. Why? Because I've earned the right to do that. I want to put out material that will yield me that opportunity. Yes, I want memberships. And yes, I like cash apps and I like super chats. But I'm not willing to do just anything for it. It's not that exciting to me. If I had, well, I am a millionaire and I do have $11 million. But if I had access to that $11 million, I would give it to somebody, one person at a time. And especially looking at what's going on with our senior citizens. I mean, that story was so sad. And then I was reading an article, and then I seen where here in Texas, a city about an hour outside of Dallas, the Home Owners Association decided in 2023 that they're no longer going to take Section 8 vouchers. And so many of mothers and their children are being forced out. And then I seen a gentleman on YouTube talking about another state, and I think it was Atlanta, Georgia. And he was talking about, and all the seniors was just sitting there looking so sad. They are actually being evicted as I speak. It's so much that's happening throughout this country. Many of us are not aware of it, and some of us it may not mean anything to. But to those of us who are mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters, you know, there's some people in the world, such as my son, they don't have brothers and sisters. They're only children. We are the baby boomers. If I live to see October 26th, I'll be 65 years old. And we're at the age now where we hope like hell that we, you know, imparted some love, knowledge, kindness into the ones that loved us along the way, so that when we need their assistance, they're there for us. I am fortunate because I have one of my older sisters here with me and a nephew, and they take care of me very well. And contrary to anybody's belief, I can move, I can walk, I can dance, I can drive. I choose not to do a whole lot of things, and I can go anywhere I please. But my pleasure is right here in my room. I read books. I write. I talk on the phone. Look at YouTube. Make YouTube videos. Receive guests. It's a beautiful thing. Asatar said, someone in Philadelphia wanted to bring his service animal alligator to a baseball game. What? Okay. Whatever. I did hear a story that Maria shared with me, and it was a lady that was eaten by an alligator. And they are looking for the alligator because they know now that since he's tasted human, you know, blood, now they're afraid that he'll go rogue in the community. We have a lot of things going on throughout this United States. It's enough to make you just want to break down and cry. You know, I never thought I would be one of those people that would never look at the news because I, want to know what's going on and, around me and around the world. And I didn't stop looking at the news because I made a conscious decision to do it. But when I got rid of cable and, just have the Wi-Fi and look at the internet, then I don't really search news channels because it's kind of hard to find your local news at the time that the local news is on. So, you feel a little relief from, the news, but it's very important to be in the know for the simple reason something could be happening right up the street from you. And I know a lot of people say it's so depressing, but it's so real. Life is depressing sometimes. It's really real. And sometimes we have to talk ourselves into being happy today. Because normally happiness is based on happenings. And that's why you got to learn who you are as an individual so that you can have joy no matter what. You can still cry, you can still hurt, you can still be depressed, but you know in your knower that you are who you say you are. You got to get there. It's not an easy task. And if you can get there before you turn 50, you've done an awesome thing. Because most of us don't get there until we can't go anywhere else. And if we would have acquired the knowledge when we were younger, who knows what the world would be today? And there are some people that really follow their dreams and they really do come true. And that's beautiful. I really don't understand sometimes the human brain. But again, what I know is true for most people, happiness is based on happenings. And my niece shared this with me. Rennie is her name. She has a show, Rennie Raw Chats. And she has an awesome, awesome spirit. Her countenance is just upbeat without the fakeness. And she said, Aunt Cheryl, I think one of the problems in the world today is people lack love. And I believe that. Because most people believe love is a feeling, but love is an action. It's a verb. And that's not why it's what you say, it's what you do to show love. Many people say a lot of things, and a lot of people are great speakers, but they have not love. Most people say they love the Lord, but they can't stand you. They have not love. Many of people on this app are hurting, and we know that by their actions. And no, I'm not Jesus. I didn't come to save the world. I came to share mine. And if by chance something that I say, if it can help you along the way, then by all means use it, because I paid for it. And it was painstaking. It was not a good feeling. And the beauty of it all, as poor as we were, we lived in the projects, Moneyhand Court. One thing we didn't lack in our household was love. That's one thing we didn't lack. I don't ever remember us running out of food. We may not have had the meal that we would have chosen, but there was always a meal. And that means something. When you build on a foundation, you can't do any better. Even though it cracks, there's still a mending factor. And I think that's where we as humans, we kind of lose it, because we don't believe in mending. Most of us don't even know how to hold conversations. Okay, I'm just being me. Oh, I see a star. Thank you for your membership. I don't know if I ever congratulated you or not, but I see it, so I want to say thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes we get so caught up in the everyday mundane things that we forget about the little bitty things, and we think that we're going through some terrible stuff. But imagine going to work every day, giving it your all, every day, and you're loved on your job, except by the people that are instrumental in how you are paid. They seem to have a problem with your work ethic, with your integrity, with your stick-to-itiveness, your staying power. People have a problem with that, and they would call you anything. And it's not about what you call me. It's about what I choose to answer to. And I'm not going to answer too much if you're not calling me who I am. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Being a Scorpio really means something. We're very deep individuals, very deep, very dramatic as well, with such a vivid imagination. A lot of us that I've met have trust issues. And we think that's just germane to being a Scorpio. And that may be a factor. But a lot of the trust issues start at the very beginning. When you start socializing. Could happen from home, but most of the time it's when you're socializing, when you're in elementary school, and how children receive you, and how you see yourself. And a lot of people don't pay attention to words. Words are very important, and I talk about that all the time. Self-esteem. The operative word is self. I can't give it to you, but I can encourage and I can motivate. And I can point you in the direction of how to acquire it. Because a lot of times we beat ourselves up more than anyone ever can. A lot of times we second guess ourselves more than anyone ever doubt us. We walking around here thinking we're not nothing, and we got people that's thinking we're everything. And had it not been for us, they didn't know where they'd be. And we're sitting around here saying, if it wasn't for me getting in my own way, where would I be? And some of us do get in our own way. Most of us. Until we take the journey to find out, who are we? What do I stand for? What do I believe in? What do I know? Am I willing to learn? I like little everyday conversations, because we all suffer from the same everyday problems. How do you handle this situation or that situation? Such as the situation as the young lady. And you got to think from that frame of thought. So you got to think from the mind of an 11 or 12-year-old. That's when, you start changing, your body start changing, and then the esteem really becomes important on how you view yourself. A lot of people worry about how other people view them. I'm much of the opinion, what you think of me is none of my business. And I've learned, just like Whitney sang, George Benson, or whoever sung the song, I decided long ago not to walk in anyone's shadow. So if I fail or succeed, whatever it'll be as I believed, because it'll be me. And I can't blame anyone. I really wish we as a people would take advantage of therapy, because it is really good to have someone to listen to you and hear what you're saying. Now, you may not like what they say back to you when they tell you what they heard. I don't know if y'all have had that problem, but you're talking to somebody and they tell you something about themselves and you repeat the exact same thing that they said, and now they mad at you and don't want to talk to you for the rest of your life. And you just repeated back exactly what they said. Sometimes it's not necessarily the message, it's the messenger. For whatever reason. And there are many reasons. Many reasons. Oftentimes the one we think that they are, they're not the reasons. Because they don't have anything to do with us. But we like to believe the reason something is like this is because I either did something or I failed to do something. And that's not always true. It's really not. I tell you, life and living. Some people are living in the best of times, and right at this precise moment, some people are living in the worst of times. But it's up to us to choose how we view it. Doesn't mean things are not happening to us, against us, or even for us. It's how we view life on an individual level. I think about relationships. I think about mine, other people. And I love to see people working at being one, because it does take work. We all come with a degree of baggage. And what's so amazing, you know how they sell luggage in pieces? Well, that's just like our baggage. We say we come with baggage like it's just one big, you know, suitcase. No, we have the travel kit, you know, the small on the plane size, the carry on bag, the trunk. We carry those type of baggages. And then we tend to, sometimes it's subconscious, sometimes it's conscious, choose people with like baggage. Asatar tell me all the time, you think I'm really helping you, but you don't really know what you're doing for me. And that's the same with me in any relationships that I enter into. You think you're just being you, but you don't know what being you could mean to somebody who's going through something. And there's a many of people going through something. They may not talk about it. They may laugh and joke about you about it. But trust me, we're all feeling this humanness. It is wise to be able to sit alone, meditate, talk to yourself, enjoy yourself. It is wise to be able to do that. Because in doing that, you're able to sit and talk to somebody else. Seems like we've been desensitized to real human, I don't want to call it error, but just real human living. We're desensitized to the stories of the missing children. We're desensitized to the little girl not receiving her medal. We're desensitized to the people that are losing their homes in droves. And then we got to ask ourselves, where are these people going? What's going to happen? Because we all know, or we've learned by now, for every action there is a reaction. And imagine being elderly and disabled and homeless. You don't have an automobile you can live in. You haven't driven in years. So there is no need to own a vehicle. You did everything you could to pay your bills. Assatar told Alicia, if you write in cursive one more time, you're going to see me on your doorstep in Cleveland. Oh my. Some kind of terrible. Alicia, don't do it. Don't do it. And then, y'all, if that wasn't bad enough, this story here is so horrific. I just almost don't even want to mention this story, but I must mention this story. I seen a story, they said a little 6-month-old baby was almost eaten alive by rats. almost eaten alive. The baby lost the tip of his nose, his cheeks, fingers, and toes. And it was 3 adults living in that house with 2 sets of families. Thank you, Asatar. Asatar said, if I tell y'all Toothless played a role in helping my high school team win the championship last year, you would think I was crazy because she doesn't know a damn thing about basketball. 100, 100. But I do know about a coach that coached basketball. And I do know how you care about those children. Matter of fact, I do know a song that we was all so happy to hear. And I know some people don't like my singing. I was telling my son that somebody said they seen somebody saying that they didn't like my singing, and he said, well, you can't sing. I told him, boy, you crazy. Your mama can sing her ass off. You can't. He told me, you just sound that good to you. I told him, well, you ain't lying. Boy, you ain't never lied about that. Because, boy, I be thinking I sound good as hell. Ain't no need to be lying. Ooh, I be thinking that. But we laughed. He always talking about his mother, but one beautiful thing about it, he loved his mother, and she knows it. That's all that counts. But he talked about me. I was telling him Phyllis was singing, and Lord, we know she can't sing. He talking about you can't either. He said you can't either. You just sound good to you. I said, see, there you go, talking about your mother. Yeah, you ain't gonna get far in life talking about your mother. No way, Jose. But we all remember this time, Master Tar. We remember this. From the Tiger's Den, we would like to extend our humblest congratulations to Coach Asatar and the Grant Lancers team for winning the 2023 D1 championship, the city of Los Angeles. Congratulations. We're happy to see that you won back-to-back championships. I know those kids are glad. And as long as we are here, we're going to celebrate your wins. Congratulations, Asatar. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. Oh, you're in Cali. Oh, let's hear what I'm Just Being Me has to say. I love your posts on your wall. And you are so beautiful. You look like somebody I know. Absolutely beautiful. I love your picture. Out here in Cali, a grown as woman beat up a 13-year-old girl in a Harbor City McDonald's. The girl had 2 black eyes, a swollen head, and jaw. They haven't found her yet, but they will. 100, 100. So where is Harbor City? What main city is that close to that we know of? You're welcome. She said nobody helped. Okay, Carson. Oh yeah, see if you're not from California, you don't know none of those cities. Is Carson around the Bay Area or is it around LA and South Central? Is it north? Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so very much. That's what I say. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. Southern California. Well, San Francisco is Northern California, though, isn't it? Hi, Black Rain. San Diego is Southern too, right? Isn't it amazing her friends videoed it, but nobody helped or tried to stop the lady? Oh, okay. Okay, it's around LA and not north. Okay. So, but San Francisco is north, right? In the Bay Area? Isn't that north? Mm. Okay. The Staples Center is not the one over there that they just rebuilt, is it? The one that's in Inglewood? What's that stadium or whatever is in Inglewood? Not too far from LAX. My cousin used to live over there. You could park at her house and walk down to whatever that stadium was. It's over there by the horse races, used to be, I think, in a big graveyard. Oh yeah, I don't know where they play. I know Grignan went to a game. Oh, okay. Okay. It's downtown. Oh, okay. I know Greg went to the Lakers game, but I didn't know where they went. Like Astator said, I don't know nothing about basketball, child. Basketball move too fast for me. It make my heart hurt, so I don't look it. I can't watch the game. The scores they change too quick. I get too excited. I love to see them people make them shots though, but I just can't. I can't do it. Yeah, it is, Alicia. Today's culture has really flipped on us. You know, don't feel bad. I'm just being me. I type slow too. And I'll be typing books, and it takes me a year to finish. 1998. Oh, okay. Donkey, you must be from LA too, or California. Because normally if you're not from a state, you don't know a lot about it. Well, let me just say normally for me, I can't say that for everybody because some people like to look at maps and they know all kind of stuff. So Alicia said she would have tased the wild boar and slapped the you know what out of them kids. And y'all believe her. She is not telling no story. And poor thing, they better be glad Maria wasn't around. And that's on the Perilla. I would have died 911. That's a good question. What would you do when you see someone fighting on the streets? I guess in that case, you could see the disadvantage. It was a kid with an adult. But I've been seeing some kids in these schools, and they are the aggressors. And they are actually jumping the teachers. I don't know how we can grab them back. San Pedro, does it have a beach? You try to stop it if they're getting whipped. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw a girl that was 13 jump on a teacher. And I saw it on YouTube. All our beaches is to the south, off of the coast of Galveston. Like Galveston, Corpus Christi, because we're right at the Gulf of Mexico. Let me put some respect on the cash app that I received.
Your face. You got to remove the excess water. Now she's coming
This
out.
is how you do it.
Thank you.
Let me take you back to my elementary school days. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. People. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. People. I didn't do anything to these people. But I'm being bullied anyway. We will stop the bullying. And it starts with me. My new hashtag, not me. Yep, Alicia, I'm for real. I'm gonna call the police. I was taught to run from trouble, not to run to it. And then I'll be the one sitting up there, both of them turn and start fighting on me because I'm trying to stop them. Okay, you mean like whether to grab them around the arm or the waist or whatever? Wouldn't it be sad if you was trying to stop somebody from getting beat up and then somebody didn't like the way you grabbed them and then you end up with a case? Boy, everything has desensitized us from being human so these days. You just don't know really what to do. And I guess it is good that some people can get it on film. Because I tell you, I'm the type that'll be shaking and I couldn't even hold a camera to take a video. I would be so nervous. I'd be hyperventilating worse than the person that's getting beat up. That's what I would do, Black Rain. I just call the police, 911. I don't mind calling and telling them, giving them very good descriptions, but I can't do much else. Yeah, Maria said these kids nowadays carry weapons even in elementary. And not only do they carry them, but they know how to use them. That's what makes the difference. It kind of goes back to saying and doing. It's just two different things. Some people say they gonna beat your ass. Some people actually do it. So it's frightening, you know. Yeah, I would just make the phone call and hope everybody would be all right. Yep, so Alicia said, I'm just being me. I hope so. Because these kids look innocent these days, but start trouble. Yep. And my brother always told me the one with the tears don't necessarily mean that they're the innocent one. Because, you know, some people can make themselves cry at the drop of a dime. We used to have, you know, my peers when we were in elementary school and we had the, you know, oratorical contest. And child, they be up there talking, and next thing you know, they crying, and you think really somebody just whipped them, but you didn't see nothing. But the way they, and tears be flowing too. Nah, Miss Alicia, I know. Yeah, I really know. You ain't to be played with. Not some at all. I'm just like a little old roaring lion. I ain't finna bust a grape. Ain't no need me playing like it. You don't even hear me talking like it. Some people think I sound like it, but nah. Mm-mm. I'm happy for everybody that can do what they do. I just do what I do. And ain't nothing physical about it but writing. Yeah, you are. Okay. Maria said her grandbaby's got the crying thing down pat. So you know what I'm talking about, then. You know exactly what I'm talking about. As said, don't believe that, so Alicia. She goes around whipping these bad. Yeah, she does. I'm telling you, no, she will. The women too, if they, you know, get down wrong, she's going to defend somebody. I hope they find the lady though. I really do. Isn't it amazing in situations like that they can't find the lady? Now how the lady get away? All them people, I'm sure it was some people that are watching. And I could kind of understand her friends because they should have been children too. But baby, some of these girls are worse than boys. And they run in packs. That happened. Well, we know he ain't no hell of a husband. I'm sure they're happy to see each other because I know Black Rain has storm, hurricane, and wave. So Black Rain is spoken for. So I know they're probably just catching up, Asatar. They thought the mother was gonna come up there and start whooping some of them. That's why they wouldn't talk to her. They were afraid. I mean, and then as a mother, I'm sure you feel real bad. Yeah, it really did, Cachet. But I was working on some information. It's really sad. Like I was saying, how we have so many pressures against us in the real world, and you go to work and you give your all, and then you can have people plotting to get rid of you because you are a good worker. It's almost like people don't want people that do what's right. It's I swear, it's no matter what walk of life you're in, it seems like that people would rather have the people that don't do right. And then they complain about the people that don't do right. But other than that, I had a beautiful day. And they just let them leave. So Alicia say homegirl snatched her wig off. And she picked it up and rang out the customer after it was all ended. Yeah, child, I ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, that's all it is, ass. It's my tone. I love that haircut, ass, on that picture. That's very nice. Yeah, I was so scary. I had to learn to do something. And I ain't gonna say too much, so don't nobody, because some people don't want to be doing no talking and stuff. I'm just gonna say a few words to make you think, "Ooh, I better leave her alone." I ain't gonna say much. That's adorable. Yeah, she was up there trying to save the boss because that girl was trying to whoop the boss something terrible. We were on the phone when that happened. She had to get off and actually go and take care of business. in a public job. That really happened. I remember it like it was yesterday. And what's so bad about it, she always trying to keep the peace. That's what's so bad about it. Uh-oh. Alicia, Astor has a question for you. No. I don't believe that one. I was there. I was on the phone. The girl came in looking for the woman and was going straight for the woman. And the woman was an older woman and the girl was young. Yeah, I remember that just like it was yesterday. That actually happened. Okay, Ash, you might be telling the truth because I'm looking at her answer. You might be telling the truth, Ash. So let me tell y'all a little bit about this housing thing that I was talking about that really blew my mind. It's almost like we're going back to Jim Crow, to be honest, because now you got homeowner associations saying that they're not accepting Section 8 vouchers. But one thing a lot of people don't realize, when I used to work at Texas Department of Human Services, and that's our welfare department, when you become an eligibility specialist, you go through this training. And in our manual, on the very first page, it tells you that the majority of the people that are on welfare are actually Europeans. But they sell the story to America as if it is us. And they know they do this. They know it. So that's the same with any program. And especially if you are supposed to be the majority, then why wouldn't you be the majority in all areas? This is from the Texas Tribune. So if anybody want to Google it, I might could put it up without being on camera. I can try it. Yeah, it is rain. And what they don't understand, this is hegemony. It's not really race. They just have us using race so that we can be divided and against one another. But, it has nothing to do with race, in all honesty. But a lot of people still teach their children that. They pretend they don't. We're about the only group of people that really don't teach our children, hatred. But for some reason, and I know the reason, we hate each other. And that's because of the conditions in which we live. If we had the opportunities like other communities, such as, grocery stores, our own police departments, where the police used to walk the beat. They knew the neighbors because they lived in the neighborhood. If we had those type things working on our behalf, we wouldn't have the issues that we have. But unfortunately, we have a lot of distrust of each other and others. I mean, families can't even get together and do nothing without somebody thinking somebody's taking advantage of somebody. It's just sad. But when you've been trained a certain way, that's all you know to be. It's who you are. Black Ray said that is very true. Acetar said, Toothless sometimes, so Alicia tries to bully me over the phone. Let me stop before people believe me. So Alicia calls my phone to bully me. Y'all need to stop. You're welcome, Alicia. Asatar, Black Rain addressed all of us females that way. No pun intended. He has a beautiful wife who adores us also. Black Rain and his wife is my favorite couple. They sound absolutely beautiful. And Asatar, like myself, he's a lover of love. Beautiful couples. Because it's so sad we don't get to see many, but I know people that's been married for 60 years, 58 years. I have cousins, and they're still married today. I got a cousin who's been married, I think it's about 63 years. And her mom and dad was married that long. And her siblings were married. The women, now, the guys, nah, they had divorces, but the sisters, they all had long marriages. And I think that's beautiful, especially when the couple can communicate and have a marriage. I don't think it's beautiful just because we have the numbers, because some people suffer in the name of being happy. We learn to mask early in life, and some of us never take the mask off. We never realize that we don't have to do that. 34 beautiful years. I'm trying to set it up, y'all. Okay, let me see. Asatar said, thank you kindly in my voice. I'm in my I'm a pick on my friend's mood. I hope y'all don't take it to heart. Just let it bounce off my nipple. Okay. Cache say Toothless. Asatar was confused about Black Rain's eye wink emoji. I was just explaining. It's not what he thinks. They are good, respectable people. Yeah, I had to tell him. He always trying to make a joke. He's one of the funniest guys I know, as well as corny. So he's both. That's beautiful, Black Rain. I know some men like that too. My nieces were truly blessed with men that love them. And a couple of them are my nephews that have wives that they really and love being married. And you know what? Black Rain, you could answer this from a man perspective. Um, to me, it seems like the couples that last the longest are the ones that use enduring terms. Have you found that to be true? Asatar said, let me go on record to say I'm a big fan of love. And he is. It makes me happy to see others happy. And it does. So when I throw up in my mouth a little bit, that don't mean I'm not happy. And that's true. Okay. Here's our story. How did they get down there? I want it up there. I don't see my article. I'm supposed to be sharing the screen, but it dropped down to the bottom for some reason. I don't see it up here at the top. Let me take it over here. I try to do it that way, but it doesn't work for me that way. I don't know why. Let me try it again, y'all. Yeah, I know that's what I've seen with the couples that seem to be together around me. They uh they have those beautiful pet names, and I swear they seem like they, just the happiest people. And you know that they have life and issues like everybody else, but it just seems they seem so loving. Okay, we're gonna try this again. And it's the Texas Tribune by Joshua Fetcher. He did this July 21st, 2022 at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. A neighborhood's new anti-Section 8 rules will push many black residents out of North Texas suburbs. Landlords in Texas don't have to accept renters who receive federal housing assistance. But a Denton County community is taking it a big step further, making most of the town off limits to Section 8 tenor. And that's Evora Sykes and Yvette Townsend. They arranged Sykes' belongings on the front porch of her home in Providence Village on June 30th. Sykes and her children moved into Providence Village 4 years ago. Now, a new rule by the Homeowners Association is forcing them and other tenants who use Section 8 housing vouchers to move. Emil Lippy for the Texas Tribune. Sign up for The Brief, our daily newsletter that keeps readers up to speed on the most essential Texas news. Providence Village, by the time Ravisha Threats moved into a two-story home in the North Texas hamlet last year, she had filled out more than 100 applications to find a home for her and her four children. Threats 31 said she wanted a home somewhere good and humble for my kids. As she tried to escape an abusive relationship in Atlanta, she considered joining her sister in California, but worried she couldn't afford the state's high rents, even with help through the federal housing choice voucher program, widely referred to as Section 8, that subsidizes a portion of a low income household's rent. Then Threat's sister turned her attention to the suburbs north of Dallas and Fort Worth. The rent was affordable, and according to her sister's research, crime was low. Threat says she applied to live in more than 100 houses and apartments, but none would accept her. Texas is one of the few states that allows landlords to reject renters if they receive housing vouchers. Finally, Threats found a landlord in Providence Village, a town of about 7,700 people, less than an hour's drive north of Dallas, who accepted vouchers. And she and her kids left Atlanta with 4 suitcases, bound for Texas. Threat said she fell in love with Providence Village. She started a business cleaning neighbors' homes. Her kids were happy. Her daughter had been withdrawn since her father died in 2015 and retreated even further from friends during the pandemic. But in Providence Village, she opened up, Threat said. I was at peace. I was happy, Threat said. The neighbors, they treated us like family. But after less than a year, Threats and her family must once more pack their bags and move elsewhere. In the months after Threats moved in, homeowners began to turn against the neighborhood Section 8 renters, who are predominantly black. In private Facebook groups, they increasingly blame tenants for a perceived uptick in criminal activity in Providence Village. The wave of anti Section 8 sentiment peaked in June when the Providence Homeowners Association's board passed a rule effectively banning Section 8 renters from living in the neighborhood, a move that will displace more than 150 families from the majority white enclave. Black families make up 93% of the 157 households with Section 8 vouchers living in Providence Village, according to the Dallas and Denton housing authorities. Women head all but 5 of those households. Section 8 tenants have to leave Providence when their current leases end, according to the new rule. The Homeowners Association and the town are largely separate entities, but share much of the same territory. That means within a year, an entire Texas town will mostly be off limits to voucher holders. I jumped way down. Low income, low income housing advocates have blasted the ban as racial discrimination. Soon after the rule was on the books, a trio of advocacy groups, the Texas Housers, Texas Homeless Network, and United Way of Denton County, called on the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate whether the rule violated the Federal Fair Housing Act. This basically says that there'll be no Section 8 in our city, said Ann Lott, executive director of the Dallas-based Inclusive Communities Project. So for years, we've had to deal with the homeowners saying, not in my neighborhood, but now we have a move afoot that says, not even in our city. That's concerning. There's nothing in the state or federal law that forbids homeowners associations from enacting such bans. Legal experts say although it's unusual for HOAS to enact them, the Texas Tribune identified 2 other Dallas Fort Worth area homeowners associations that ban Section 8. Voucher holders. We so used to saying Section 8. Low-income housing advocates have blasted the ban as racial discrimination. Okay, I done read that. Or did they say that again? Look like they said it again. I'm not going to say it again. This basically says that there will be no Section 8 in our city. I read that. Man, I'm tripping. I was down here at voucher holders. Okay. We all know what that's getting to mean. Dun 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 dun. I'm really getting sleepy. Providence HOA leaders have not publicly explained their rationale for the Section 8 ban. According to tenants, landlords, and others who spoke with the Tribune, officials with the HOA, including board president Jennifer, however you pronounce her name, Dotrich, and Providence Village Mayor Linda Inman, did not return requests for comment. Families now are scrambling to find new places to live and to do so before school starts. As threats discovered, such housing can be difficult to find in Texas, where a 2015 state law essentially allows landlords to ban Section 8 recipients. A 2017 report by Inclusive Communities Project found that out of 1,900 properties surveyed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, only 226 accepted vouchers, predominantly in areas that are poor and black. No apartment complex in 26 Dallas suburbs, nearly all majority white, surveyed by the organization accepted vouchers, the survey found. The lack of 150 homes available for voucher tenants is a very severe effect, said Laura Bashara, a civil rights lawyer representing some of the Providence Village tenants. The families are going to have a very hard time finding housing. Advocates and tenants, however, worry that other homeowners associations will copy the Providence HOA and enact their own bans on renting to voucher holders. And these are what the houses look like in that area. Nice frame homes. A street in Providence Village. The neighborhood was constructed beginning in 2000 and incorporated as a municipality in 2010. It now has about 7,700 residents. Emil Lippy for Texas Tribune. Your neighborhood's too perfect. Huffines Community, the Dallas real estate firm founded by Don Huffines, the former Republican state senator who unsuccessfully challenged Governor Greg Abbott in this year's GOP gubernatorial primary, and his brother Philip first began developing the neighborhood in 2000. Why I just didn't say 2000? Okay, I'm tripping. Providence reflects the Huffines' dedication to providing a lifestyle that embraces family traditions in their home and creates lasting memories, the company's website says. Well, not for these people, because they're going to be homeless. More than 5,000 people lived in the subdivision by 2010, according to the Denton Record Chronicle. That year, residents voted to incorporate Providence Village as its own municipality. The neighborhood feels like a beachside resort with large white trimmed houses and manicured lawns lining narrow, winding streets. The neighborhood is dotted with artificial lakes and features a water slide, pools, and jogging trails. Nearly three-fourths of its residents are white. 17% are Hispanic, and 7% are Black. Even when I have friends come over, they're like, your neighborhood's too perfect. You might need to just be careful, Brett said. I never saw it coming, how ugly it was behind closed doors. To Yvette Townsend, the town has always been unwelcoming. She and her 6 children, who moved to Texas from Milwaukee in 2018, lived in nearby Paloma Creek until last year when their landlord sold the house. Townsend wanted to stay in the same school district and managed to find a home in Providence Village. About a month after her family moved into their new home in December, Townsend's 17-year-old son and 2 friends visiting from Frisco drove to 7-Eleven to pick up snacks for a movie night. Less than 10 minutes later, Townsend saw flashing police lights through the window. She ran outside to find a police officer with the Aubrey Police Department, which patrols Providence Village, pointing a stun gun at her son's friends. The officer told Townsend that her son and his friends ran a stop sign and were driving recklessly through the neighborhood. Another told her they were speeding at 45 miles per hour through an alley. At least 6 officers to say that, showed up to the scene. After that, police officers would pop up at her house for no apparent reason, Townsend said. Officers pulled her son over several times while he drove her black Chrysler 300 around town, she said. Townsend said an officer pulled her over once in the neighborhood for speeding in a school zone and told her that her Chrysler was a high profile car. As soon as school let out, Townsend's son left for Milwaukee for the summer. It looks like a nice neighborhood to live in, Townsend said, but we never got the welcome or never got a chance to experience any of that. Only so many should be allowed. Providence Village residents and landlords, as well as lawyers and housing advocates who have become involved, trace the rising anti Section 8 sentiment over the last year to last summer when a 14-year-old black teenager stabbed a 16-year-old white teenager at a neighborhood basketball court. Word spread through the neighborhood that the teenager who was arrested was from a Section 8 household. Since then, according to renters who spoke to the Tribune, it's become common for Section 8 tenants to be blamed online for anything that goes wrong in the neighborhood. Okay. In the wake of the basketball court stabbing, people in private Facebook groups geared toward Providence Village began to try to figure out how many Section 8 tenants live in the HOA. At some point, a map of houses, it sounds like people on here. Okay, let me see. At some point, a map of houses rented to Section 8 tenants lived in the HOA. Boy, if I say this one more time, y'all, I'm sorry. At some point, a map of houses rented to Section 8 tenants circulated around the neighborhood. Eventually, residents in the groups began to discuss ways to get rid of Section 8 renters altogether. Although HOA leaders at first seemed to reject the notion, Dutrich, now the HOA's board president, wrote in one Facebook comment thread in October that she believes Section 8 is a good resource but should have a timeline and only so many should be allowed in any neighborhood, according to screenshots and video posts on Thread's TikTok account. Still, lawyers told HOA board members, there is nothing we can do about landlords renting to Section 8 tenants in the neighborhood. And she wrote that. I'm not going to even try to massacre her name because I don't know how to say it. By June, that thinking had changed. The HOA board first passed a rule to fine landlords. Y'all listen to this for real. $300 a week if they rent to Section 8 voucher holders, a move that drew applause at the June 6th public meeting. Landlords with several properties in Providence Village fretted about how they would bear the brunt of an additional $1,200 a month per tenant. After an outcry from tenants and housing advocates, as well as local media attention, including multiple stories by the Denton Record Chronicle, the association changed direction and delayed enforcement of the new rule. Tenants who signed a 12-month lease before the rule went into effect can stay on through the end of the lease. Those on a month-to-month lease can stay until mid-September. After that, landlords must pay the fine if they rent to Section 8 tenants. Because the Section 8 ban overwhelmingly affects Black residents, it likely violates the Federal Fair Housing Act, which explicitly prohibits discrimination based on race, said Bashira and Mike Daniel, the lawyers representing Providence Village tenants. That's pretty functionally equivalent to being able to say, "You're Black, get out," Daniel said of the ban. We want what's best for our families. The Section 8 ban is part of a broader package of rules passed by the HOA board aimed at discouraging real estate investors from buying homes in the neighborhood and turning them into rentals. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic and historically low interest rates, investors and corporations, often referred to as institutional buyers, began buying more homes with the intent of renting them out or flipping them. Last year, Texas was the top target in the nation for investors. Home purchases made by investors accounted for 28% of all home purchases in the state in 2021. According to the National Association of Realtors, a higher percentage than in any other state. In Denton County, where Providence Village is, that figure was 39%. I'm going to read one more paragraph and I'm going to quit reading because I'm going to fall asleep reading. Under the new rules, a new homeowner must live in their home for 2 years before they can rent it to a tenant. And a lease has to last longer than 90 days. A landlord can own only one rental home at a time. And this is the HOA that's determining how people live. What do y'all think about that? Y'all can look this up on Google. And it is, if you're interested in this story, it is the Texas Tribune. And a neighborhood's new anti-Section 8 rules will push many Black residents out of North Texas suburbs. That's what that's all about. Hokey pokey. What y'all think about that? Or do y'all have any thoughts about it? Maria said, wow. Catchy say, looks like it. I'm just being me. It's just shocked. So they are going to put mere people out in these streets. Yeah, they're doing it. And they're not just doing it here in Texas. Like I said, it's an elder gentleman come on. I think they call him Baba something. But I seen him. I didn't look at the entire video. But he was doing another state. And again, I think it was Atlanta, Georgia. But in this case, it was a lot of senior citizens that were being put out. And they were just all sitting there just looking, sad. And, you like, where are we going to go? Because They say that it's more baby boomers alive now. And, we are people that's going to be having medical problems because we're aging. And some of us have medical problems already. If you like me, you were born with a medical problem. I was born with a third-degree heart block, but we didn't find out until after I gave birth to my son. So, it's just amazing. And you can be sick and have things wrong with you and never have to go back and forth to the doctor. Because before I went into congestive heart failure, I didn't go to the doctor but twice a month. Yeah, that is a good tell. He was talking about it, Black Rain. And Black Rain said poverty is created and crime is a result of it. Therefore, they can keep you in curtain areas. And that's so very true. And, that's what I think that we as a people don't really realize, that we can really make a difference if we start understanding the rules of our city. Do we really know what our city council, does? Do we really know what each state representative, and especially the one that you would vote for in your local, vote, what do they stand for? Have you looked to see what kind of laws that they pass? Okay, certain. Okay. Uh, what do they stand for? The one that says he's your state representative, your state senator. What do they stand for? And how do they vote? Who do they partner with to vote? Because I'm going to just tell you the truth of the matter. When the representative or the candidate looks like us, they're already in the minority as far as votes goes. So they can't do too much promising unless they make friends across the aisle. And when they make friends across the aisle, then they, help each other out when they want to introduce a bill and get it into committee to be voted on. Because in all honesty, the whole House or Senate very rarely votes on whatever the bill is that they're trying to get passed. Normally, it goes through committee and it's quite how they treat it. And I'm talking like I don't know this. I just believe I read this. So really, don't hold me to that. That's why they tell us don't give legal advice and don't, suggest things to people. Now you can suggest things, but you should always tell people to, like I tell them, I drop keys, you do the research. Because, I'm not really, really deep. I just learned some things that freed me. And I feel, live, and have my being in being free. I stand on the shoulders of some giants. My mom and dad were maids. My dad was a custodian, my mom was a maid. And they didn't get far in their education. So for me, life is everything and everything is life. And then I had the opportunity when my son came along. I couldn't pay for him to go to school, but what I could do was encourage him and let him know that whatever road he chose, that I was going to be there to support him. And he did all of his paperwork himself. He did all of his studying and learning, and he came out with an undergrad degree and a master's in business. And again, I'm here to support him in whatever the endeavors are and whatever it takes to help him be, the best that he can be. Because we have so much against us. And it's really disheartening to see us misuse this platform when we all could be doing something great for somebody other than ourselves. But, you can't tell people how to think and how to feel and how to serve, because people serve in their own private way. Some people are givers. Some people are doers. Some people don't have nothing to do with nothing and nobody. And it makes them no less than anybody else. But we do know that we are really created as interdependent beings. And so we really do need each other for whatever we need each other for. And so I'm of the opinion I don't mind anybody using me, just don't misuse or abuse me. And when I get tired of you using me just like I'm using you, then we can part ways. And it doesn't have to be ugly and you know mean, and it doesn't have to be. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. We have enough division, and we really need every man that we can get and every woman to start teaching their children self discipline. That's one thing that Neely Fuller expresses is self discipline. So that's about what I had to say about it. But I thought that this was pretty interesting because, but for, who knows, it could be the one of us. You know, we can think we're really doing good, especially when you hear about how they talk about what they're doing with the banking system and everything is going digital, and how they can just push a button and it's over for you as far as finances. A lot of these things people say it's not true, it's not true, but you see it happening every day because now they have certain stores that don't take cash in any form. We know silver and gold is what the Constitution says is money, but now we have stores that don't take change, and they don't take Federal Reserve notes. They don't take any cash. It must be on a card, either a debit or credit, but they're not going to allow you to come in their store. And then, you look at, oh man, that's wrong. But then when we get something, the only way we can pretty much keep it is to restrict who can come in and out. And that's what's so sad. And that's why a lot of, I don't know where you guys grew up, but I grew up here in Dallas, and it used to be a time where businesses were flourishing. My uncle had two service stations, and he had spent the majority of his life in prison. But he had two FINA service stations. On one of them was on one of the busiest intersections in the city, and he had a FINA sitting right there. We had a lot of people we went to school with. Parents had little corner stores. They call them mom and pop stores. But now we don't have anything but foreigners in our community, and we're considered food deserts because we don't have stores that actually sell produce. So it's really strange. Black Rain said by 2030 cash will be no more, all digital. Yeah, that's really something. Yes, that's true. I'm just being me. And you know what's so strange about it? Think about y'all, the senior citizens. Some didn't have children. Some have outlived all of their siblings. They don't really have nieces and nephews that come and attend to them. Just think about all those people that know nothing about this technology, have no clue. I'm clueless, but I'm better than most. And I don't mean most that know it. I'm talking about most that don't know it. Because I'm not a technology buff. I just really learned to use the computer for the job that I used to do on a public job. And then I learned how to pick letters. Now that I can do. And it takes me forever, but I can pick. But I don't know the inner workings of the computer like perhaps I should. I don't even know the difference when people be asking you what program, and then they ask you, so are you in Word or are you in this? And I'm like, huh? I don't even know what they're talking about. Okay, what kind of Word do you have on your system? I don't know. What kind of system you have? I don't know. And believe it or not, y'all, if it's something I'm not interested in, it's very hard for me to learn about it. And perhaps that's what's wrong with a lot of people, and that's why they don't want to read or whatever. I guess it's whatever we, put our mind to. Maria said, Black Rain, yep, the grocery stores left. Most of them are only taking cards now. And I don't know if y'all seen this, but what was that I seen? They're going to start Uber Eats in our area is going to start taking food stamp cards. So I guess they'll do that because they're going to be going to the grocery store. Because it used to be you couldn't buy cooked food. Now I think if you were homeless, you can buy cooked food. So you could eat at a restaurant or eat at a fast food chain if you were homeless. But if you had a resident or a domicile, then you couldn't purchase cooked food. Only food to be cooked. So the rules are changing immensely. And Black Race says spend your money wisely. Hard assets, property, not their products. Yeah, it's really sad that people don't want to know truth. I guess that's what kind of saddens me. That a lot of people really just they're not interested until it hits them or someone that they love. It's really sad. But I have a friend, my very dear friend, and she's in the hospital as we speak. And all of her food, believe it or not, came out of the garden. She has a beautiful garden. But they said the seeds, like in the okra, like in the tomatoes, you know, the cucumbers, they will get down in your stomach and turn on you. Maria said, yep. So y'all can check out that article because it was really disheartening to say the least. Because to me, it just reminds me back in Jim Crow when they had redlining and we couldn't live in certain areas no matter what we made, no matter how we looked. And Black Rain said, I've invited money wisely as a young man, so I would not struggle as an elder. Okay, you probably said invested. Okay. And that's good to even know how to invest, because they don't teach us finance. And if you don't have educated parent or elder around that can teach you the importance of investing. What are you doing when you invest? How does it work? I think that we should be teaching children how to, do individual tax returns, just the 1040 EZ, which they're no longer EZ and all of that. They now, I think they may have the numbers on them, but I think that the way they teach them are the same because you can use one form for all three. Yep. So I think we should be teaching them taxes. How to do the tax form is very simple. Mm. Yeah, I tell you, it's really something. I know that we got to get back to love, though. That's the bottom line, and that's what's gonna overcome everything. Is we've got to get back to loving one another and seeing each other as human beings and not as dollar signs or potential dollar signs. We have to see each other uh, for who we are and see the worth in a person. You could be actually broke and you could be very wealthy. Financial literacy is very important. Yes, it is, Black Man, and that's where we've fallen short. Yeah, That is facts. Financial literacy is so very important. That's why we didn't get it taught. Imagine if we actually had access to the things that most people have. They're not really teaching them to count money in school anymore. They cut down the learning time for it. Oh yeah, now they're only just teaching to pass those tests to get that check. I think I shared one week. I know with our school district, and I think it's the TEA for the state of Texas. Don't quote me on it, but they have a roll call that everybody must be in school at least by 11 a.m. And so if you're not there by 11 a.m., you're counted absent. And they don't let you go home before 11 a.m. So if you get there late, you can stay or you could go. So it's really something. The elementary schools. Yeah, at one time they had taken cursive writing out of schools. And that's why Ash was talking about cursive writing with So Alicia. One while they took, slap out the schools. But now they said that they were bringing it back. But I don't know if that's true or not. That's right, Black Rain. Black Rain said, my son's real learning started when he got home from school. And that's where it should begin and end, before he ever leaves home and once he returns. And that's the advantage we had with being families. And as Phyllis was saying, sitting down, eating together, that's the time when you got to know what was happening with each other, where your head was, who your friends are, who they are not, whatever problems you're having, that day. Okay, as we understand, when you at work, you got to work. So we truly understand. We're just talking about finances now and not being taught, and the people having to give up their Section 8 housing because you got homeowners throughout the United States banding together saying they don't want, these people. Let me see. They have most kids in IA can only write in manuscript. That's true. That is so true. They're not going to have a clue. But, when you look at a system that's gearing toward numbers, what really is the need for alphabets? Although each alphabet is equivalent to a number, but, life is forever changing. Let me see. Black Rain, correct. Maria said, yeah. Yeah, I tell you. So we say the children are our future, but what are we really teaching them, though? That's what I want to know. I suggest to people if they would, get a dictionary and tell their children to look up at least 5 words a day. And it could be whatever, whatever they choose. And they don't really have to do it every day because you can overdo things. But if you give it to them in intervals, they will have a love and appreciation for it. And they'll start doing it themselves. And to No matter what, purchase a newspaper. We give billions to other countries, but don't take care of our own. That's why I never depend on what we call the government. I hear you 100%. And then we're just making up paper. Is it really worth anything? That's why we're in the conditions that we're in right now. And then the real subjects, nobody wants to brainstorm. And, you know, I used to say I get so tired of talking about let's talk about it. But if you don't ask the right questions to seek the right answers, how can you resolve a problem? Because one gentleman said the way you solve problems is you ask questions. And I believe that was Neely Fuller that said that. Yeah, that is so true. Let me play a song so I can wake up and say goodnight because I swear to y'all, I think I'm really dozing off. Let me see. I try to put them together so I can kind of have them right close by each other. See that old man over there in his chair? This old man is living in the bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5. He drink full time and now he's living in the bottle. Well, see that old man over there in his chair? This old man got a problem and it's a bad one. Now he done pawned off everything, his old woman wedding ring for the bottle. Well, and don't you think it's a crime when time after time people living in the bottle? These people living in the bottle, y'all. Okay, where is my song? And I don't see. I think I changed the name of it. Yeah, I did. This is a lot of our problem. And we were taught to love something that we've never had and we don't know because we've never had access to it. And it seems so far out of our reach. No matter what we do to try to obtain it, it seems like it's just a grasp away. And that is money, 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 money. Some people will sell you out. Do you know what I'm talking about? Some people tell jokes of dirt. They don't care whose feelings they hurt. I was told from times of old, the game's to be sold and not told. If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang around YouTube and you will find out about that mean, oh mean, mean green, almighty dollar, cash money. Well, people don't let money, oh, don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, cash money. People don't let money, money, money. Don't let money change you. Almighty dollar, they just keep on scamming and scamming everybody. Check them out, scamming and scamming everybody. I tell y'all, people, don't let money, oh, oh, don't let money change you. Money, 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 money. Black Rain, I agree with you, and I'm just being me. And now, y'all just know this: if you have a topic that you want to talk on, a topic that can help somebody, I don't do the turn down. If you have a topic that can help somebody, and you're knowledgeable in it, and you want to come up and share it with us, I'm open to that. If you have a topic that you want me to cover, if I know a little bit about it, I'll definitely cover it. If I don't, I'll let you know that I don't. And the only thing I could do is read. But what we try to do in the Tiger's Den is engage one another in conversation, laugh, have fun. Sometimes we have a whole lot of fun and we do a whole lot of laughing. And sometimes, like tonight, I'm just a whole lot of sleeping. Anybody knows me when I get sleeping. I guess we all do it as humans, but whatever's in your mind or whatever thought you had, you'll just start saying anything. I'll be at Whataburger and I'm sitting here on, at the computer. So, you just never know. But we do our best to just, lift each other up because it's enough for real. Turn each other down. It's enough out here. It's a struggle to get your, videos monetized, even though you're monetized. It's according to what you talk about, and you start getting all the flags. And no matter what subject you talk about, it will fit one of the areas on YouTube, but it may not be until it's manually reviewed. So most of our videos, I know mine, have to be manually reviewed before I can actually get approval. And most of the time they are approved. There are some that are not, and I know that they're not going to be. And when I know that, then I put them on restriction myself. But we have too much to lose, and it's our babies that we're losing, and we're losing them for no reason, and they're getting younger and younger. I talked about Briasia, Terrell, and we have a lot of these men that are now actually committing crimes against our children. And it's not that it hadn't happened before, but now we're in the information age. And so there's nothing that you should want to know about that you don't have some semblance of an idea of what it's about. Because all you have to do is ask that phone that we use every day a question, and you can pretty much find the answer or close to the answer of anything that you want. So I just try to do something to encourage people. And like you said, like Rain, we can't get many people in here. But when I look at people nowadays, and I see that most people don't really have people in their chat, so it begs to wonder what's happening, what's the dynamic shift, what's this paradigm that's going on now, that people that you used to see with big numbers, no matter who, now they don't quite have them. And they're looking more like, yourself. So I just say to thine own self be true. And that's what I came here for, to talk about me, my life experiences, and share in hopes that it'll help somebody. And if anybody has some knowledge that they want to impart, because we really are seeking knowledge, even if we're too lazy to do it ourselves. But who knows who will be the voice or the text that will prick somebody's brain to go and want to find out more about it and inspire them to do and be different. You never know. So I don't judge people. I talk about them, but I don't judge them. Um, I believe that it's enough out here for everybody if you want something. And I believe you have to want it. I call it the you factor. And if you remember, wherever you go, you take you with you. So it has to be some truth to that. Those are just my beliefs. One woman's opinion. And like Randy said, we are actually on vacation in Hawaii. Hey! But I love good conversations that are positive. I love to pass information to those that want to hear it. Oh, that's beautiful. So are y'all in a beautiful, beautiful part of Hawaii? Because they've had some problems there. As said, Black Man, it's been a pleasure hearing your perspective. Yeah, it's good when I hear you men talk. I tell you, it's nothing like it in the world when you have a man in the room as opposed to a male. And I enjoy boys because they have to grow into manhood. And, it's very hard for us to find that. That's why I love and admire Asatar. So he gives of himself freely. And I mean, it may cost, really, but he gives freely of himself to spend time with children. And he don't just coach basketball. He used that to inspire them to be better men. He coached life skills, and he's a logical thinker, so he also gives them the mindset of a man because we're more emotional thinkers, and not all of us as women. Some of us are, can be very analytical, but it really helps when you have a balance. So it's just truly an honor for me to have you guys in the chat and to stay because I never know what it's going to be. And I just come and give all of me. And I thank you guys for giving me all of your time because you honestly didn't have to do it. But I'm going to get ready to bid everybody good night. Uh, I'm going to play probably two songs, and my last one will be my favorite new song, Speechless, and it'll be the last thing that you will hear. So I'm going to play Our Children again, and I'm going to play my new version of Jennifer Holliday's You're Gonna Love Me. I love that song. That was the first song I sung on the cruise ship at karaoke, and Lord, I thought I was Jennifer Holliday. You couldn't tell me nothing. I swear I did. And when we woke up the next day, a lot of the people on the ship thought I was too, because people were asking me for my autograph. And Lord knows I can't sing, but I love singing. It's just in my heart. And I love singing. I'll make a song out of anything for real. And we really had a beautiful time on that cruise ship. And the cruise ship I was on, believe it or not, is a children's cruise ship. It's called the Big Red Boat. So it had all of like Daffy Duck, all of those characters. And when we went on that ship, that was the last time that that ship sailed. And it was absolutely awesome. And we had a great time. It was Phyllis and I. We had a great time. So, on that note, I'm going to say if you guys think of something, or if you live in a city where there's a massage envy and you would like a massage, just leave it in the comment section of the video what city you live in, and if they have a massage envy. I give away one massage per month to a lucky winner, and it's really worth it. It's an hour long, and it's a full body, and then you tell them the depth of how you want them to perform the massage. It is a reputable company, Massage Envy. You can look them up and see they're all over the United States. But some people don't have them in their town. And so I wouldn't give away something that would take you 4 hours just to go and, enjoy an hour. But if you live in a place where there's a massage envy, I do know they have them in California. I do know that. I went to one when I was in California once. And so please feel free to let me know. And if you have a subject that you want us to, touch on, Let's do that, because the more the merrier, and the more we have to say, the more we will learn from one another. And on that note, I'm leaving the tiger's den. Good night. You know, sometimes in a relationship, be it male or female, we tend to not want to let go. No matter what's going on in our relationship, we just want to hold on. Sometimes we find ourselves singing this song. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. Ooh, 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 love me. You're gonna love me. And I am telling you, I'm not going, even though the rough times are showing. There's just no way, there's no way. We're part of the same place. We're part of the same time. We both share the same blood. We both have the same mind. And time we've had so much to share. No, 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 no. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning, and finding that there's nobody there. Darling, there's no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. You see, there's just no way. There's no way. Tear down the mountains, yell, scream, and shout. Like you can say what you wanna, I'm not walking out. Stop all the rivers, push, strike, and kill. I'm not gonna leave you. There's no way I will. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. Not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and and you, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are. Ooh, ooh, love me. Ooh, 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 love me. Love me. Love me. Love me. You're gonna love me. YouTube. When I look at the subscribers that I received over the past year, 60 subscribers compared to other content creators. Some started when I started, some came after me. The numbers are not numbering. From what my numbers tell me, I gained one subscriber every 6 days. YouTube, you got me. You got me. You've got me, YouTube. You've got me speechless. You've got me. You've got me. You've got me. You've got me speechless. All I can say is yes, yes, yes. All I can say is yes, yes, yes. Whoo.